Hi, everyone. It's really an honor to be here and the first time in Bristol. So far, it sounds like it's been amazing, amazing set of like inspiring talks. I wish I was here earlier, but I had a wedding yesterday, hence I'm in white. I'm joking. Just if my voice croaks, that's why. And yeah, I wish I could come here earlier, but it's a very amazing day. But yeah, it's a really amazing time. I'm really excited to be here, and thank you so much, Savita, for the lovely introduction. And just first of all, I appreciate it's Tuesday and it's 4 p.m. So thank you all for holding on. I wasn't sure how full the room would be, but I'm glad to see so many amazing faces. I'm excited to get to know better at the drinks. And then because it's 4 p.m. on a Tuesday, I thought I've got quite fun things in my presentation to keep you engaged. I wasn't sure if you'll be like holding on by a thread by this time. So a bit about me, I thought it'd be good to introduce myself because it's my first time in Bristol. I thought, let me just like feel at home a bit more and give you a chance to know me a bit. So I've been in comms for 11 years, mostly in the consumer space and luxury brands. And as you can imagine, very amazing, but you get to a point in your career where you're like, oh, PRing £500 pajamas, this is not purposeful. So for me, I just felt really disheartened. Like I want to be more purposeful in my profession. I want to use the power of comms and the power of marketing to actually impact people positively, impact the world positively. And it was 2019, the crux of hearing about how we do comms is having an impact on young kids, having impact on how women see themselves, etc. I just thought I want to use marketing for good. So lo and behold, launched Social Disruption, just making more of a positive change when it comes to like representation and diversity and helping brands shape more purposeful and positive messages. Yes, just more about me then. So yeah, Social Disruption was born to disrupt some change and just inspire new thinking, more evolved conversation. And also just for my love of storytelling, we help brands in how they storytell and help them to gauge, you can actually storytell in an inspiring way. You can, of course, like make money because all brands want to or gain awareness, but you can do so in a really empowering way. You don't have to scaremonger people. You don't have to tell people they lack, therefore they need this and that and that. That you can empower them as well. So yeah, Social Disruption was really born to inspire new positive thinking. And that has also led into the growth of talent management. We actually represent now changemakers and disruptors who celebrate and champion diversity, who celebrate and champion sustainability and other really important causes. But enough about me. The reason why I'm here is I'm excited to talk to you about is disrupting positive change and inspiring new thinking in the environmental sector. But the first thing I want to do is just disrupt your minds a bit on regards to disruption. I think when people hear disruption, they often think, oh, like, negative connotations. But I do want to introduce you to a theme that not all disruption is bad. So just to give you a broader view of what disruption means, I found a really incredible dictionary definition of what it means, which means, oh, actually I can't read it. I hope I wrote it down. Which means, radical transformation in which old certainties of modern society is falling away and something new is emerging. So what I get is disruption equals opportunity. And for me personally, disruption is like a breath of fresh air. It's when things need to change, it just gives you a new lease of life. It suggests a new way of doing things and inspiring people on that journey as well. And as communicators, evolved thinking is really integral to our industry. We have to create, we have to be disruptive, we have to always think of new things. So thinking disruptively is actually the key to ensure that we're future-proofing our careers and our industry. And most notably, the past few years have taught us the importance of like navigating disruption, because sometimes disruption is out of our control. What do you do when there's a pandemic? So we have to be able to like think out the box sometimes and work with difficulties. So as I mentioned to you guys, I love storytelling. So I thought I would include this theme in this presentation and just conversation to inspire you to journey through me as I go through how to disrupt positive change in this industry. So chapter 1, I want to open your minds to disrupting the narrative. So when it comes to disruption to drive positive change and inspire thinking, it's really important to disrupt the narrative around what you want to communicate. So after the past 3 years, it's undeniable that people feel a bit hopeless, especially when it comes to natural causes or environment. They're sort of like doom and gloom. And many studies have shown, younger generations are feeling a bit hopeless. And I think it's really important to engage people. We have to change and disrupt the narrative around these causes themselves. And when you think about what drives people to get involved in something, when you give them hope, they want to galvanize like community, they want to galvanize support. So it's really important when it comes to natural causes and the natural world, to reframe the narrative to fuel hopefulness versus hopelessness. Yeah, my points there, it's working great. Yes, and shifting the narrative from shifting it from a problem to actually an opportunity to be had. And again, that sort of sentiment would inspire people to get involved. So yeah, as mentioned, this will increase engagement and it will increase hope and participation in these issues. So how can you do this? Some really easy ways is just giving people an idea of how they can actually support these issues and causes that you all represent, and encouraging conversation and community so people feel less alone in this. A lot of people, again, when it comes to studies, a lot of people feel just alone and isolated in their own stress and worry. And when you facilitate community, you'll get people more wanting to be involved in something communal. So as mentioned, I've got little elements of fun in this talk. So I thought, it's going to be 4 p.m. How can I get people to remember? If they don't remember anything I said, what's a really fun way to engage in these topics? And I've got little videos that will hopefully land these points stronger. My tech's been disrupted. That's not been planned. Oh dear. Okay, well, later on in the video, when they finally land, Barbie's like, "What are you doing here?" And Ken's like, "I'm coming with you." And she's like, "No, go away, please." So the point I wanted to make was that sometimes disruption just pops up and you can't do anything about it. Disruption sometimes flip things over. And like Barbie, our default is often, "No, go away, I'm in denial," and close our eyes and hope our interference or our nagging Ken's and kind of go away. But to be honest, you've got to make the most of it and just continue on the journey. Well, sadly, you didn't play the full thing, but hey, I made the point by disrupting the tech, but hey, we move. Oh, okay. Let's try that again. Let me see if it will flow. Okay, hey, let's move. Yeah, so following on with working with disruption, often disruption brings opportunity. And one thing that happens, the first thing that often happens when there is disruption is that people shift, and it's really important to pivot with people. So you've got to like work with a new narrative and work with disruption. So you've got to really evolve as your people do. So we've seen with like COVID, for example, it shifted things, it shifted behaviors. And as comms people, our default is often, what can we do? How can we protect this? What can we, manufacture? But it's really important just to listen sometimes and just engage with people. And even in the natural world, like people are the biggest disruptors to the natural world, and often the solution to it. So it's essential that when we are looking at strategies, we are thinking people first, people and purpose first. And another thing that's disrupting people is that technology and just how people are evolving is faster than the comms industry can often keep up with. So again, we have to be sensitive to the best way to engage with people. Is it tech? Is it through adapting our strategies? And one concept that I think summarizes this is disrupt it's fine. One concept that I have kind of coined that helps me to remember this is disrupt what's disrupting your audience. There we go. Yeah, so disrupt what is disrupting your audience. And what do I mean by this? It means identifying the pain points that people are having and ensuring that you're positioning as a solution. So to illustrate this, I want to use a real life example. So for example, everyone at the moment, or there's a massive epidemic of loneliness that no one's really talking about. We live in one of the most together and, seemingly together and connected times, but people are really disconnected. And some stats around this, increasingly 30% of people live alone. And that's linked to like, so 30% of people live alone, and just loneliness in general is causing, it has health implications such as increased health problems like higher risk of stroke. And isolation and loneliness is estimated to shorten a person's lifespan by 15 years. It's actually a really serious condition that no one's actually speaking about. But this actually produces an opportunity because beautiful natural spaces are a really amazing way to get people together and to get people disconnected to connect. So just listening to what's happening in society and positioning causes or spaces as the solution can be really impactful. Another thing to be thinking about is that how society is changing. The reason why people are quite lonely is because social spaces are closing down. cost of living, people are going out less, and for some reason everyone's obsessed with having a small circle. It's like, oh, my circle's small. And you see lots of like memes or hashtags on Instagram, people bragging how small their circle is, and it's like, well, that's actually not a good thing. And because we're becoming more insular, again, people are just feeling a bit more lonely. So again, it's a really beautiful opportunity to position causes and these elements to get people involved. And even when it comes to causes, just helping people galvanize together to support a cause, it just creates community as well. There's something to think about. And to give you an idea of this, actually, so a live case study for Black History Month and last month, I work with a lot of creatives in the diverse space, and one thing that comes up, so we donate a lot of time to give creators of color opportunities to connect to brands and help brands connect to individuals they perhaps don't come by often. And one of the things that come up in our work is that how many creators struggle when it comes to thriving and also advocating in this industry. So we thought, no one's actually talking about the mental or well-being struggles that a lot of people are struggling with. So we thought, okay, how can we actually create an internal campaign or drive awareness of this? So what we did, we talked to the Nottinghamshire countryside to take a few creators just to disconnect and be Black in Peace, we called the campaign. And we worked with Keta Inspire, a really amazing organization that helped individuals just disconnect. And it meant that the countryside was that perfect backdrop for this campaign. So again, when you listen to what's happening in societies or in communities you're trying to reach and position a cause or a place as the kind of solution to it, you engage people better. And there was really amazing results from this. We had over almost 1 million reach and also 52 pieces of coverage. So really great response from just listening and saying, actually, rather than jump on a bandwagon that's usually around a certain month, such as like celebration or pressures of being excellent or working twice, and et cetera. Let's actually listen to some of the community and take our creative community to listen to something they're going through and position a natural space as a solution. And this just generally brings me to my last point of topicality, well, not my last point, my second to last point of topicality. When you do listening to your audiences through perhaps using social listening tools, and ensuring that you're culturally relevant. So listening to what is actually prominent in society and how you can be that solution for people. And my last point, I couldn't stand up here without talking about AI and tech and all that fun stuff. So it's really important, of course, like to look at how you can delight people and utilize and leverage tech to obviously inspire people and also tell new stories. Yes, virtual spaces are quite a broad topic and also sometimes intimidating, but it also presents opportunity to give people a new realm to experience nature. And you can also heighten the stories of like perhaps individuals in nature or some of the kind of causes in a new different realm and reach different people. And when it comes to accessibility, ensuring that younger generations are also inspired or included in the space as well. My picture's not showing, but hey, it's fine. And just as mentioned, yeah, so after every point, I've got a fun video to really land the point. So hopefully this one would land with this scene here. Oh wait, the pictures are working great. Yeah, so as mentioned, yeah, so just some inspiring imagery to kind of bring to your mind some of the ways perhaps like virtual spaces can be integrated in your comms. And I've been hearing some themes of how like there's a gaming for good concept where a few organizations have tapped into virtual worlds or the gaming space to engage younger generations, but also just bring their campaigns to life. And there's really cool synergy between gaming and in real life. So when you collect, I don't know, coins and something in the gaming world, it translates into doing something good for like a natural cause. So it was really, really cool. And again, a great way to engage people and include them in some of the causes that you may represent. Oh, my video. Okay, hopefully this plays. R.I.P. Matthew Perry, of course. So yeah, pivoting is really important. And again, just even from this little clip, it does show you that when it does come to pivoting with your people, it requires vision. You need vision. You need a strategy of how to do so, and also having diverse thinkers. Like maybe you wasn't have the best individuals to help in this situation. So when you have diverse thinkers or just people that think perhaps differently, it really helps in pivoting. And that pivots us greatly, nicely to our next point. And the point that I want to land you with or end you with, which is the beauty in diversity. And I had a really lovely conversation earlier with a group of individuals, and we were just talking about just being inspired in our careers by speaking to someone differently or speaking to someone in the same field but with different opinion, and it's helped us in our careers or helped us think differently. So I just thought it was really beautiful to end with this point, because the natural world cannot exist without diversity. And there are many different facets to this topic, but I kind of want to land you with two, and many metaphors to pull from when it comes to the natural world and some of the ways just we can learn from nature in terms of diversity. But the two I want to leave you with is inclusivity and the power of collaborations. So the power of comms gives us the opportunity to stress messages and positioning environmental issues and natural causes and the world for everyone. And this will help further engage all people and heighten the sense of ownership, so people can actually own those issues and own taking care of our planet and people. So how can we simply do this? And it can just be simply done by representation. And we can't deny that this is a point that has been kind of historically overlooked. And just a few months ago, even like a year ago, there's a few news stories that have come out about people being discriminated for using the British countryside, which is crazy. But however, if we tell stories that are kind of one-dimensional, it's kind of a no-brainer that kind of people think that certain spaces are for them and certain spaces aren't for others. So it's really important that we actually just pay more attention to how we communicate issues and causes, and ensuring that there's inclusion perhaps in the mock-up of comms as well as represented through it. So the second element of diversity that I wanted to bring your attention to, and again, something that we spoke about in just before this talk, was the power of cross-pollination, and how collaboration just gives us just more breadth, more scope, and the strength in differences, and just collaborate with people outside collaborate with people outside the conscious realm will enable more reach, but equally just more diverse thinking. And it just helps bring fresh perspectives into our strategies or in what we can do. So some examples of what you can do in regards to this is thinking about like artists or creators or influencers who can help and support storytell some of your causes or organizations. And one thing we realize is that audiences are, with the wealth of information that audiences are being thrown at, they love to be disrupted, or they find things that they love to be unexpected. They love to have comms that are I guess, yeah, it goes against the grain. So tapping into the power of unexpectation is really important for creative work, especially, and it helps you push boundaries. An example, yeah, for example, like borrowed brilliance. I believe in that concept of borrowed brilliance, which is about borrowing from other entities. So just because you're an environmental organization doesn't mean you can't borrow from like fashion or beauty or tech, because again, it just taps you into broader audiences. But equally, there may be something forward thinking in those different realms that you can actually employ in your own communication strategies. So to land this point, I was trying to think of a really fun, engaging video that will bring this beautifully together. And if I'm honest, all I can think about was High School Musical. We're all in this together. But I just thought the Gen Zs won't even know that, so there's no point. I'm joking. And I couldn't bring myself to do something so cheesy. So what I thought I'd do is let nature just tell the story beautifully. So I put together a few clips that just tell the beautiful story of like diversity, unity, togetherness, because our natural world really can't survive without it, and neither can we or our industry. So this clip for me summarizes that our natural world cannot exist without diversity, and it's a perfect personification of differences being the very thing that enables life to exist. And the natural world as well is a great inspiration for disruption, because for centuries the natural world's been disrupted by humans, by animals, by climate change, by this and that. However, it's remained resilient, it's remained innovative, and been able to adapt creatively to its environment, and it's made disruption work to survive and to thrive. And as comms people, we can really do the same to navigate changes or societal disruptions. And that brings me to a close. It's really been amazing speaking to you all. Thank you, Savita, for the incredible opportunity to speak, and just really, really grateful to share this space with you all, and just excited to see what great things you will do in regards to this really exciting topic of diversity, inclusion, disruption in the environmental and natural world. Thank you.